I signed this contract in 2009 that locked me into A&E Networks. Okay, and I would still love to do work with them, but like it still restricted me from doing work with anybody. Now I can do it.
Rick Harrison from Pawn Stars is known for his calm voice, sharp mind, and famous pawn shop deals. To many fans, his life looks successful and full of exciting moments. But behind the bright lights and busy store, his journey has been filled with painful struggles, family challenges, and unexpected losses. From health issues as a child to difficult moments in his personal life, Rick has faced more than most people see. He kept going, even when life became heavy. What really happened behind the scenes of Pawn Stars that changed Rick Harrison's life forever? Join us to find out. Rick Harrison. Rick Harrison, officially named Richard Kelvin Harrison, entered the world on March 22, 1965. His parents were named Richard Benjamin Harrison and Joanne Rue Harrison. Among their 4 children, Sherry, Joseph, Rick, and Chris, Rick was the third born. Growing up, he faced significant challenges and emotional turmoil. His eldest sister, Sherry, who was diagnosed with Down syndrome, tragically passed away when she was just 6 years old. This profound loss affected the entire family and left a lasting impression on Rick as he matured. Rick's dad served in the U.S. Navy. In 1967, when Rick was just 2, his family relocated to San Diego, California, due to his dad's job. The move introduced young Rick to new difficulties. By 8, he started experiencing epileptic seizures. Consequently, he often had to stay in bed and rest. Despite the challenges, this period held significance. Rick began reading numerous books to occupy his time, which gradually evolved into a profound passion for reading. He had a particular fondness for a series written by John D. Fitzgerald titled The Great Brain. This collection of tales, centered around a witty young protagonist, deeply intrigued Rick. The world of literature ignited in him a keen passion for subjects like history and physics, fueling his desire to understand the inner workings of various concepts and to explore historical events. Among the various historical subjects, he was especially fascinated by the workings of the Royal Navy during the period spanning the late 18th century to the early 19th century. Rick was enrolled at Taft Middle School located in San Diego, but his educational journey was short-lived. He exited school before completing the 10th grade and ventured into the business of selling imitation designer handbags to generate income. While this decision wasn't ideal, it demonstrated Rick's initiative and resourcefulness. In April 1981, the family made another move, relocating to Las Vegas, Nevada, due to the collapse of his parents' real estate venture. This relocation marked yet another significant shift in his life. At 17, Rick encountered a major life event when he found out his girlfriend Kim was expecting. Despite his youth, he decided to embrace the situation. Unfortunately, their initial pregnancy ended in miscarriage. This heartbreaking event strengthened their bond, leading to their marriage in 1982. By April of the following year, they celebrated the arrival of their son, Corey, who eventually played a significant role in the family enterprise. 2 years after Corey's birth, their family grew again with the addition of their second son, Adam. Shortly after Adam was born, Rick and Kim went their separate ways in 1985. Time flew by, and roughly 9 months later, Rick started seeing Tracy. After 8 months of courtship, they tied the knot in 1986. They combined their efforts to care for Corey and Adam, creating a nurturing and supportive family environment. Rick found that his passion for history and learning played a crucial role in his career. In 1981, his dad launched a little store dealing in second-hand gold and silver coins on Las Vegas Boulevard South. Rick joined the business and leveraged his historical knowledge to educate customers about the items for sale. This built customer trust and boosted the shop's success. Additionally, Rick took on a night job repossessing cars, demonstrating his dedication to providing for himself and his family. After 5 years, the store relocated to a bigger spot on Fremont Street. Yet 2 years later, they were forced to relocate once more due to losing their lease. Rick, along with his dad, had the aspiration to transform the store into a pawnbroker's shop, but a law established in 1955 restricted the quantity of pawn permits tied to the city's inhabitants. They needed to bide their time for the opportunity. Once Las Vegas's population hit 250,000, they swiftly pursued obtaining a license. Although they encountered several legal hurdles, they were ultimately granted permission in 1989. In that year, Rick and his dad launched the Gold and Silver Pawn Shop on Las Vegas Boulevard South, located near the renowned Las Vegas Strip. Initially, their primary aim was to market exclusive sports memorabilia and one-of-a-kind historical artifacts. As time went on, it was jewelry that captivated the most interest among buyers. The business thrived and amplified its success with each passing year. By 2005, their operations involved loaning out millions annually and profiting significantly from interest payments. Their establishment gained a reputation for its unique collection and the fascinating tales associated with them. But how did he get to become a TV personality? Let's dive in. How Pawn Stars turned Rick Harrison into a star. Rick Harrison experienced a significant and positive transformation due to the increasing fame of Pawn Stars. His modest family business gradually gained widespread recognition, which eventually attracted the interest of the History Channel. This opportunity marked the beginning of something extraordinary. Premiering in July 2009, the show immediately captured the affection of its audience. Brent Montgomery and Colby Gaines from Left Field Pictures were the creative minds behind the concept of the show. Their journey to Las Vegas in 2008 sparked an interest in pawn shops. These establishments caught their attention with their eclectic collections and fascinating clientele. They envisioned a television program centered around a pawn shop that would be both entertaining and unique. Their quest began to find a family-operated pawn shop with vibrant characters and an authentic narrative worth sharing. They stumbled upon the Gold and Silver Pawn Shop, situated near the iconic Las Vegas Strip. Prior to that, the store had gained some recognition, having been highlighted in a documentary some years back. Rick, both manager and co-owner, nurtured the ambition of showcasing his store on TV. Gradually, his vision took shape as the concept for the TV show began to gain momentum. Initially, the concept was pitched to HBO, but they declined the proposition. Rather than abandoning the project, the creators revamped it to suit a broader audience. Initially titled Pawning History, the show was eventually renamed Pawn Stars. This new title aligned better with the show's format and enhanced its attractiveness. The production was carried out within the confines of the Gold and Silver Pawn Shop located in Las Vegas, Nevada. While the cameras rolled, the establishment was off-limits to the general public, with entry granted only to a handful of chosen patrons. The premises housed a diverse array of objects, spanning from jewelry to unique collectible artifacts. As time went by, the inventory expanded to exceed 10,000 pieces, each accompanied by its individual history. The program gained popularity swiftly. Audiences enjoyed observing the daily activities of the Harrison family. The unique combination of historical elements, commerce, and entertainment set the program apart. The audience responded well, consistently tuning in for additional episodes. In January 2011, Pawn Stars achieved the status of the most-watched show on the History Channel. It also ranked as the second most viewed reality show during that period, just after Jersey Shore. As the television series gained popularity, Rick became more well-known. He published a book titled License to Pawn in June 2011. The book detailed anecdotes from both his personal life and his experiences working at the store. It gained widespread acclaim and secured the 22nd spot on the New York Times bestseller list, indicating a high level of public interest in his story. In that year, Rick experienced a significant shift in his personal life as he parted ways with his second spouse, Tracy, through a divorce. Despite this change, his life carried on, and eventually, he discovered love once more. Rick got engaged to Deanna Burdett, who, like him, had her own history. They eventually tied the knot in Laguna Beach, California. This union brought 3 stepdaughters into Rick's life, enriching his family with additional love. Rick's popularity opened up a range of fresh possibilities for him. He showcased his personality on well-known shows such as iCarly, portraying himself in an entertaining segment. In addition, he had a part in the series The Middle, where he embodied the character of an antique shop proprietor. These roles contributed to boosting his public recognition. In January 2014, Rick was featured as the spokesperson for MicroTouch One, a razor for men. He was in a TV commercial highlighting how his celebrity status extended past his role at the pawn shop. Not long after, a different program titled United Stuff of America premiered, exploring significant artifacts from history. But pain came knocking. Stay with us. Through loss and hard times, Rick Harrison and his family faced numerous challenging times in life, pushing his resilience beyond what he imagined. A significant hardship struck in June 2018 with the death of his father, Richard Harrison. While fans recognized him as the old man from Pawn Stars, he was more than just a TV personality. He was the family's cornerstone. Parkinson's disease led to his demise, leaving a profound sense of grief among friends and family. Rick communicated his sorrow to his audience, articulating his affection and mourning for his dad. Their relationship had always been robust, forged through years of collaboration. His father had served as a mentor, providing insight and integrity in both personal and professional arenas. His absence left a void that could never fully be replaced. The History Channel expressed their condolences as well, honoring him as an integral member of their community. Following his father's death, Rick encountered a different reality. He now bore the entire load of taking care of both the family and the business. This transition was challenging, occurring amidst a period of intense grief. Despite this, he persevered, striving to uphold his father's memory through dedication and diligence. Shortly following this setback, a new obstacle emerged. The global community was rattled by the advent of COVID-19, prompting changes in everyday routines. For Rick and his enterprise, this era was marked by significant challenges. Initially, there was a slight uptick in business as individuals pawned belongings for immediate cash. However, this surge was temporary. Over time, patronage at pawn shops dwindled as people prioritized essential needs. In March 2020, Rick found himself faced with a difficult choice. He decided to limit the operations of the gold and silver pawn shop because of the increasing number of cases. For a month, the part of the business that relied on tourists came to a halt, creating an unusually silent atmosphere in the shop. Despite this, the staff remained active in different aspects. They persisted in purchasing items and providing loans via a window open during nighttime hours, maintaining round-the-clock service to assist people who needed it. During this challenging time, Rick demonstrated compassion and empathy. He reduced the interest rates and extended the time frame for individuals to reclaim their belongings. Aware of the hardships faced by many, he aimed to reciprocate the support he had received from the community over the years. His behavior reflected generosity and accountability, even amidst uncertain circumstances. Although he was optimistic about a swift recovery, the circumstances dragged on far beyond his anticipation. The company, which typically generated more than $1 million annually, experienced a significant decline in revenue. This intensified an already stressful period. Additionally, Rick encountered a personal upheaval when his marriage dissolved, adding another layer of emotional burden. Family ties tested. In September 2020, Rick Harrison found himself entering a difficult period. He and Deanna Burdett decided to end their marriage as they gradually grew apart. Their varying interests and perspectives, along with differences in their daily routines, ultimately became irreconcilable. What once seemed unbreakable couldn't withstand the strain, leading them to amicably part ways. Although it was a challenging choice, both agreed upon it with mutual understanding. Rick candidly discussed the circumstances, revealing that the marriage didn't succeed. Nevertheless, he maintained his affection for Deanna's kids. He persistently acted as a father figure to them, emphasizing that family extends beyond biological ties to include nurturing and relationships. His relationship with his stepdaughters stayed solid, and he frequently spent time with them, preserving the warmth and significance of that aspect of his life. Throughout this period, Rick wasn't navigating these transitions by himself. He was bolstered by the backing of his son, Corey, and his good friend, Austin Russell. Following the death of Rick's father, Richard Harrison, the majority share of the business was passed on to his mother. Despite this, she later expressed that she was not fully informed about the shop's financial dealings. Additionally, she mentioned that the consistent payments she previously enjoyed had ceased. As a result, she decided to pursue legal action for assistance. Joanne also sought a temporary court order to prevent Rick from transferring or selling any shared assets during the case's examination. She aimed to safeguard her portion and make sure that everything remained intact throughout the proceedings. Additionally, the legal petition demanded a comprehensive list of the business dealings and authority over her personal belongings. Rick replied, stating that the allegations were false. He was worried that others might have swayed his mother's opinions. He mentioned making multiple attempts to get in touch with her, but hadn't succeeded in having a conversation. This predicament bewildered and pained him, especially since it concerned someone dear to him. But this wasn't comparable to his greatest heartbreak. Stick around. A heartbreaking loss. In January 2024, Rick Harrison experienced an exceptionally difficult period in his life. He faced a grief that no parent is ever prepared to endure. Rick's world was turned upside down by the heartbreaking loss of his son, Adam. The tragic event brought immense sorrow, enveloping him and his family in a profound silence. In Clark County, Nevada, a public information officer verified that 39-year-old Adam passed away due to an overdose that included fentanyl and methamphetamine. The medical examiner determined that his death was unintentional. Worries began to surface when Adam hadn't been seen over a period of several days. On January 19th, his landlord discovered him unconscious and alerted the authorities. This event initiated a tragic chapter for the family. Rick expressed his grief in a straightforward and heartfelt manner. He uploaded a picture of himself with Adam, reminiscing about a joyful moment they once enjoyed. His words conveyed profound affection and sorrow, highlighting that aside from his public persona, he is a parent who held his child dearly. Subsequently, the family requested privacy to deal with the grief and to support each other in these challenging times. Numerous individuals extended their encouragement. Acquaintances, admirers, and prominent personalities conveyed their sympathies, providing solace in this challenging period. Rick's elder son, Corey Harrison, reminisced about a moment from their youth, conveying affection and highlighting the deep connection they had as siblings. Adam led a more subdued lifestyle in contrast to the rest of his family. Despite the immense popularity Pawn Stars brought to the Harrison clan, he wasn't involved in the show. Initially, he had a stint working at the gold and silver pawn shop, but he eventually decided to chart a new course by becoming a plumber. He opted for a life away from public attention, valuing his privacy more. Despite experiencing profound sorrow, Rick pressed on with determination. He carried his sadness quietly, often behind a calm and reassuring smile. His strength showed in his steady support for his children and grandchildren. Despite the weight he felt, he stayed active in civic life, sharing his views and supporting leaders he respected. At one point, he considered entering politics as a way to serve others. While he never fully committed, it reflected his desire to grow and find purpose. In June 2023, he was honored with the title of Kentucky Colonel. This honor is one of the highest awarded by Kentucky's governor, recognizing his impact beyond television. Around this time, Rick stepped back from full-time work at the pawn shop to embrace a more relaxed pace. He stayed connected with fans through projects like Pawn Stars Do America, while focusing on time with loved ones. In March 2025, he announced his engagement to Angie Polushkin, and they married in Las Vegas in January 2026, marking a new chapter shaped by resilience and steady strength. If you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe, and also click the next video shown on your screen.